Hello, my friend. Good morning. This is Pastor Christiana. I want to talk to you about change today. And no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, regardless of your ethnicity or what you believe, regardless your race and your country, language, and disposition, and the fact remains that time and changes will affect you. Time and changes will affect you. We live in a time that things are changing, and as humans, we're going to experience changes in our life, especially in this time. But the good news is that no matter the changes that comes our way, we can always trust God and stay in faith and knowing that God has our best interests. And I know that some changes that comes into our life, sometimes that comes to disrupt our life, and sometimes some changes are good, and sometimes some changes are very challenging. And I've talked to a lot of people. Sometimes people say we just don't like change. We don't like change. But in my experience, I've come to see that the greatest time of my life is when I went through a change. And the major success that I have achieved in life are during the period of changes in my life. And so when I experience change, I am very careful not to disrupt that change. I'm very calculative, and I'm very, I plan strategically so that I understand what is that change bringing into my life. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, the benefit of change. And so as we go through these changes, because life is a revolving door, life is a revolving door. Where you were yesterday is not where you are today. And so as life continues to change, you yourself, you will continue to change. There are things I used to be able to do when I was 30 years and 40 years. Now I'm in my 50s, and trust me, those things I can't do it the way I used to do it, because there are changes, and it reminds us that nothing is permanent. But there's something I want to leave with you today. I want to let you know that in the midst of your change, you have something in the inside of you that God has built in. God has built something in the inside of you. He's put in a potential inside of you. He's put in a spiritual shock absorber, courage, strength, inside of you, that no matter the changes that you go through, that if you can follow those things in your heart, and if you can believe in those courage and in that strength that God has placed in the inside of you, you will come out victoriously. Take for an instant, when an automobile company builds a car, they build in something we call shock absorber. And what the shock absorber does in a car is that, let's assume the driver is driving and he or she drives into a bomb, and when he or she moves into that bomb, the shock absorber in the car holds the car together so that it does not affect the system and it does not affect the car. So it is, God has built in something in the inside of you. God has put his spirit in the inside of you. Don't forget, God is a creative agent. He's a creative God. He calls everything into order. He spoke things in his mouth and everything came to being. So he put something in the inside of you, and that which God's put in the inside of you, it's stronger than the storm. I was reading something this week in my study, and I stumbled over this book that I have, and this is what the writer says. The writer says is that the human spirit strive on finding solution to chaos condition. Was written by Miles Moran. It said the human spirit strive on finding solution to chaos condition. So you have to believe that no matter where you are, there's something God has put in the inside of you, that when you are going through trial, when you are going through changes in your life, when you're going through any chaos, whatever that chaos may be, you know it. When you are going through it, there's something in your spirit that strive. The reason why your spirits strive is because God has not created us for us to be in a place of chaos. We were created to be in a place of comfort. And so when we go through changes in our life, sometimes the changes benefits us and sometimes it does not. When we go through chaos in our life, that spirit man that lives in us that God has placed in, I call it the spiritual shock absorber that God has built inside of us, will begin to strive to make sure it comes out of that place of chaos. And so I want to encourage you today, no matter where you are in your place of chaos, let us look up to God. Be like an eagle. An eagle does not run away from the storm. When every other animals are running away, an eagle went straight into the storm because they strive in the storm. They get their strength in the storm. So let us be like an eagle that walk towards the storm and not run away. I'm not saying that you have to run away, be in a place of a tornado. Don't run away from a tornado. That's not the kind of storm I'm talking about. The kind of storm I'm talking about is the storm of life. You lost a loved one, you lost your job, you're struggling financially, and things are coming at you from different angles. Life is changing in a way or in a frequency that you cannot control. Instead of running away, you walk towards it. You walk towards it with faith. Let me leave this with you. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 27 says, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searches all the inner depths of the heart." In some translation, it would say, "The spirit of man is the candle of God." God does not actually respond so much to emotions. That does not mean that God does not feel you. He feels you. But what God really responds to is your faith. And how do we activate our faith? We activate our faith through our spirit, because you know what? Your spirit is the Lamb of God. So when God sees that your spirit is aligning with His word, your spirit is alive and not depressed and not cast down, that's when God reacts. So today I want you to get yourself up and forget about the changes that you're going through. Instead of fighting it, learn to walk towards your changes, because you know what? Those changes are working for your benefit. It may not look as if they are right now, but they are working for your benefit. It is my open prayer that today God will strengthen you with strength from above, and know that your changes are working for your benefit. God bless you.